Chapter 9. The Names of Buddhas. At that time, Earth-Star Bodhisattva Mahasattva said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, I want to discuss some practices that will be helpful to beings of the future and will enable them to gain great benefit throughout their lives and deaths. World Honored One, please hear my words." The Buddha told Earth-Star Bodhisattva, "Now, with your expansive compassion, you wish to discuss the inconceivable events involved in rescuing all those in the six paths who are suffering for their offenses. This is the right time. Speak now, since my nirvana is near, so that I may soon help you complete your vows. Then neither of us will need to be concerned about beings of the present or future." Earth-Star Bodhisattva said to the Buddha, "World Honored One, countless asamkhya eons ago, a Buddha named Boundless Bodhisattva one appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name and have a momentary thought of respect, those people will overstep the heavy offenses involved in birth and death for 40 eons. How much more will that be the case for those who sculpt or paint this Buddha's image, or praise and make offerings to him? The merit they obtain will be limitless and boundless. Furthermore, in the past, as many eons ago as there are grains of sand in the Ganges River, a Buddha named Jewel Nature Thus One appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name and instantly decided to take refuge with a pupil, those people will never retreat from the unsurpassed path. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Lotus Supreme Thus One appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name, or if the sound of his name merely passes by their ears, those people will be reborn 1,000 times in the 6 desire heavens. How much more will that be the case if those people sincerely recite the name of that Thus One? Furthermore, in the past, inexpressibly ineffable asamkhya eons ago, a Buddha named Lion's Roar Thus One appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name and in a single thought take refuge, those people will encounter numberless Buddhas who will rub the crowns of their heads and bestow predictions of enlightenment upon them. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Karakuchanda appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name and sincerely gaze at, worship, or praise him, those people will become great Brahma heaven kings in the assemblies of the 1,000 Buddhas of the worthy end, and will there receive superior predictions. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Vipassana appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will eternally avoid falling into the evil paths, will always be born among people or gods, and will abide in supremely wonderful bliss. Furthermore, in the past, as many eons ago as there are grains of sand in limitless and countless Ganges rivers, a Buddha named Jeweled Victory Thus One appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will never fall into the evil paths and will always abide in the heavens, experiencing supremely wonderful bliss. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Jeweled Appearance Thus One appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name and give rise to a thought of respect, those people will soon attain the fruitions of arhatship. Furthermore, limitless asamkhya eons ago, a Buddha named Kashaya banner thus come one appeared in the world. If men or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will overcome the offenses created throughout 100 great ends of the births and deaths. Furthermore, in the past, a Buddha named Great Penetration Mountain King thus come one appeared in the world. If a man or women hear this Buddha's name, those people will encounter as many Buddhas as there grains of sand in the Ganges. Those Buddhas will speak Dharma extensively for them, making certain that they realize Bodhi. Furthermore, in the past, there were Buddhas named Pure Moon Buddha, Mountain King Buddha, Wise Victory Buddha, Pure Name King Buddha, Accomplished Wisdom Buddha, Unsurpassed Buddha, Wonderful Sound Buddha, Full Moon Buddha, Moon Face Buddha, and indescribably many other Buddhas, world honored one, beings of the present and future, both gods and humans, both male and female, can amass such limitless merit and virtue by reciting only one Buddha's name. How much more merit will they amass by reciting many names? Those beings will personally obtain benefits in their lives and deaths significant enough to keep them from ever falling into the evil paths. When people are on the brink of death, a group of their relatives, or even just one of them, should recite a Buddha's name aloud for the people who are ailing. If they do, the karmic retributions of those people who are about to die will be dissolved. Even offenses deserving fivefold relentless retribution. Offenses warranting fivefold relentless retribution are so extremely heavy that those who commit them should not escape retribution for millions of ends. If, however, at the time of such offenders' deaths, someone recites the names of Buddhas on their behalf, then their offenses can gradually be dissolved. How much more will that be the case for beings who recite those names themselves? The merit they create will be limitless and will eradicate measureless offenses. Chapter 10. The conditions and comparative merit and virtue of giving. At that time, Earth-star Bodhisattva Mahasattva, based on the Buddha's awesome spiritual strength, rose from his seat, knelt on one knee, placed his palms together, and said to the Buddha, "World honored one, I have observed beings within the paths of karma and compared their acts of giving. Some do a little and some do a lot. Some receive blessings for one life, some for 10 lives, and some receive great blessings and benefits for hundreds or thousands of lives. Why is that? Please, world honored one, explain that for us." At that time, the Buddha told Earth-star Bodhisattva, "Here in this assembly, in the palace of the Trayastrimsha Heaven, I will now discuss the comparative merit and virtue derived from acts of giving done by the beings in Jambudvipa. Listen attentively to what I say." Earth-star said to the Buddha, "I have wondered about this matter and will be pleased to listen." The Buddha told Earth-star Bodhisattva, "In Jambudvipa, leaders of nations, prime ministers, high officials, great elders, great Kshatriyas, great Brahmans, and others may encounter those who are poor, hunchbacked, crippled, dumb, mute, deaf, retarded, blind, or handicapped in other ways. Those leaders and good people may wish to give to those unfortunate ones, and may be able to do so with great compassion, a humble heart, and a smile. They may arrange to give generously, either personally with their own hands or by arranging for others to do so, using gentle words and sympathetic speech. The blessings and benefits that such leaders and good people will accrue will be comparable to the meritorious virtue derived from giving to as many Buddhas as there are grains of sand in 100 Ganges rivers. Why is that? Those leaders and good people will receive such rewards of blessings and benefits for having shown a greatly compassionate heart toward the most impoverished and handicapped individuals. Throughout hundreds of thousands of lives to come, they will always have an abundance of the 7 gems, not to mention clothing, food, and the necessities of life. Moreover, earth store, in the future the leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may encounter Buddhist stupas, monasteries, or images of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, healers, or practical Buddhas, and personally make offerings or give gifts to them. If they do that, each of those leaders and good people will serve as Lord Chakra for a duration of 3 aeons, enjoying supremely wonderful bliss. If they are able to transfer the blessings and benefits that giving, dedicating it to the Dharma realm, then those leaders of nations and good people will reign as great Brahma heaven kings for 10 aeons. Moreover, earth store, in the future leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may, upon encountering ancient Buddhist stupas and monasteries or sutras and images that are damaged, decaying, or broken, resolve to restore them. Those leaders and good people may then do so themselves or encourage others, as many as hundreds of thousands of people, to help and thereby establish affinities. Those leaders and good people will become well-turning kings for hundreds of thousands of successive lives, and those who made offerings with them will later be leaders of small nations for as many lives. If they resolve to dedicate that merit before the stupas or monasteries, then based on that limitless and unbounded reward, those leaders, good people, and their helpers will all eventually complete the path to Buddhahood. Moreover, earth store, in the future leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others may have compassionate thoughts upon seeing the old, the sick, or women in childbirth, and may provide them with medicinal herbs, food, drink, and bedding, so as to make them peaceful and comfortable. The blessings and benefits derived from doing that are quite inconceivable. For 1,000 aeons they will always be lords of the pure dwelling heavens. For 200 aeons they will be lords in the 6 desire heavens, and they will ultimately attain Buddhahood. They will never fall into the evil paths, and for hundreds of thousands of lives they will hear no sounds of suffering. Moreover, earth store, if in the future leaders of nations, Brahmins, and others can give in that way, they will receive limitless blessings. If in addition they are able to dedicate that merit, be it great or small, they will ultimately attain Buddhahood. How much more easily will they be able to attain the rewards of becoming Chakra, Brahma, or a well-turning king? Therefore, earth store, you should urge beings everywhere to learn to give in those ways. Moreover, earth store, in the future, if good men or women manage to plant only a few good roots within the Buddha Dharma, equivalent to no more than a strand of hair, a grain of sand, or a mote of dust, they will receive incomparable blessings and benefits. Moreover, earth-store in the future, good men or women, upon encountering images of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, practical Buddhas, or well-meaning kings, may give gifts or make offerings to them. Such persons will obtain limitless blessings and will always enjoy supremely wonderful bliss among people and gods. If they can dedicate that merit to the Dharma realm, their blessings and benefits will be beyond compare. Moreover, earth-store in the future, good men or women, upon encountering great vehicle sutras, or upon hearing but a single gather or sentence of them, may be inspired to praise, venerate, give gifts, and make offerings to them. Those people will obtain great limitless and unbounded rewards. If they can dedicate that merit to the Dharma realm, their blessings will be beyond compare. Moreover, earth-store in the future, good men or women, upon encountering new Buddhist stupas, monasteries, or sutras of the great vehicle, may give gifts and make offerings to them, gaze at them in worship, and respectfully make praises with joined palms. Upon encountering old stupas, monasteries, or sutras, or those that have been destroyed or damaged, they may either do the repairing and rebuilding themselves or encourage others to help them. Those who help will become leaders of small nations for 30 successive lives. The donors themselves will always be well-meaning kings who will use the good Dharma to teach and transform those leaders of small nations. Moreover, earth-store in the future, good men or women may plant gurus in the Buddha Dharma by giving, making offerings, repairing stupas or monasteries, rebuilding sutras, or doing other good deeds amounting to no more than a strand of hair, a mote of dust, a grain of sand, or a drop of water, merely by transferring the merit from such deeds to the Dharma realm. The merit and virtue that those people will create will cause them to enjoy superior and wonderful bliss for hundreds of thousands of lives. But if they dedicate the merit only to their immediate or extended families or to their own personal benefit, then the rewards received will be only 3 lives of happiness. By giving up one, a 10,000-fold reward is obtained. So it is earth-store. The circumstances involved in the causes and conditions of giving are thus: